Jurassic World Rebirth is a movie that shows a world where humans and dinosaurs coexist. The story of Jurassic World Rebirth is set in the year 2027, which is 2 years into the future. But in this movie's world, we learn that millions of years ago, when mass destruction occurred on Earth, most of the dinosaurs were wiped out. However, some of their creators survived and started living underground to save themselves. Since then, dinosaurs had remained extinct to the outer world, but their species continued to thrive underground. Then, exactly 32 years ago from 2027, that is in the year 1995, there was a massive volcanic eruption. That volcano ended up opening a path to the outer world for the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs started emerging into the outside world through those paths, and gradually they began coexisting with humans. But the world's environment was not suitable for them anymore. The air was not the same as millions of years ago, and neither was the temperature. Because of this, dinosaurs started dying off slowly. However, there was one place on Earth where dinosaurs were able to live comfortably, and that was around the equator. The equator is an imaginary line that divides the Earth into two halves. Around the equator's coastal and island areas, the environment had the right temperature and oxygen levels for dinosaurs, so they started settling there. But due to the presence of dinosaurs, these areas became extremely dangerous. That's why governments around the world banned access to these regions and prohibited civilians from entering. Only a few companies across the world were granted permission to enter and study the dinosaurs for scientific research. Now, the story of the movie begins 17 years before the present time, which is the year 2010. In 2010, we see that a large global company named InGen was conducting research on dinosaurs near the equator on an island in the Atlantic Ocean. They had established a lab on this island where their engineers and doctors were working on dinosaur mutation. That means they were collecting dinosaur blood and modifying their DNA to mutate them. At the beginning of the movie, we see that InGen had already mutated several dinosaurs in their lab. At that moment, they were working on mutating a T-Rex. But due to a small mistake by an employee, a malfunction occurred in the machinery and the mutation process was interrupted. The T-Rex they were working on wakes up, breaks free, and begins destroying the entire lab. It also kills many people inside. From its appearance, we can tell the T-Rex was heavily mutated, larger and much more dangerous. Due to the disaster, all employees fled the lab, abandoning their research. No one returned again. Then the scene shifts, and we see that 17 years have passed. The year is now 2027, the present timeline. We are introduced to a man named Martin, who is an executive at a pharmaceutical company named Parker Genix. This company develops medicines for major diseases. At this time, a major heart disease has spread worldwide, affecting a significant number of people. Parker Genix estimates that in the coming years, 20% of the global population, 1 in 5 people, will be affected.
So the company believes that if they can find a cure for this disease, there will be massive demand for their medicine, and they can earn huge profits. Their research reveals that dinosaur blood could help in developing the medicine. Dinosaurs have large bodies and therefore large hearts with strong muscles. So Parker Genix decides that if they can get the blood of such large creatures, they can develop a cure. To do this, they hire Martin and task him with obtaining blood samples from 3 types of dinosaurs: those that live on land, in water, and in the air. Since Martin cannot complete this mission alone, he decides to form a team. First, he approaches a woman named Zora, played by Scarlett Johansson in the movie, who was a former Special Forces commando. She is an expert in combat, weapons, and survival in dangerous places. Because the mission involves going to dangerous locations, Martin recruits her and offers $10 million, about 8.5 crore rupees in India, to join the mission. He explains everything to her about the mission and the pharmaceutical company's goal to cure a deadly heart disease using the blood of 3 types of dinosaurs. He also informs her that the mission will be completely unofficial and secret, as no government would allow it. Despite knowing this, Zora agrees to join the mission for the money. Martin then goes to recruit a third person, Dr. Henry, a paleontologist with deep knowledge of dinosaurs. After learning about the mission, Dr. Henry also agrees to join, not for money, but because he loves dinosaurs and wants to study them up close. Martin and Dr. Henry also identify the 3 specific dinosaur species they need: Mosasaurus, water; Titanosaurus, land; and Quetzalcoatlus, air. With this plan in place, Martin still needs more team members. Zora introduces him to her old friends from Special Forces, Duncan and Bobby. Bobby is an expert in combat and weaponry, while Duncan has training in Special Forces, navigation, and piloting boats. So now the full team consists of Martin, Zora, Dr. Henry, Duncan, and Bobby. They make all the preparations and board Duncan's boat to begin their mission. At the time of departure, we find out Duncan has brought 2 more members on board: Lake Clark, who knows how to pilot the boat, and Nina, a mercenary brought along for additional combat support if needed. As they begin the mission, the team looks at a map showing where Mosasauruses are usually found, around a special island near the equator. Martin tells the team this is the same island where 17 years ago, InGen conducted dinosaur experiments and mutations. This confirms that the location is the same one we saw at the beginning of the movie. Now the whole team continues on their journey. At this point, the scene shifts, and we see another small boat in the ocean. This boat carries 4 people: Reuben, the boat owner, his 2 daughters, Teresa and Isabella, and Xavier, Teresa's boyfriend. They are also traveling across the sea for a trip, but suddenly several large sea creatures appear around their boat and start crashing into it. Soon we learn that these sea creatures are in fact dinosaurs.
The name of the dinosaur is Mosasaurus, the same water-dwelling dinosaur that Martin and his entire team are searching for. Now here, all these Mosasauruses start ramming into Reuben's boat and eventually overturn it. As a result, Reuben, Teresa, Isabella, and Xavier all fall into the water from the boat. Then the Mosasauruses leave. Luckily, all 4 boat members survive. They stay near the boat and quickly start using the radio to send signals around them. Using the radio, Reuben starts broadcasting their location on a radio frequency. In the next moment, we see that Reuben's radio frequency is directly heard on Duncan's board. After that, Duncan realizes that someone is nearby. Reuben also gives his exact location over the radio, so Martin finds out that Reuben is 28 miles away. That is around 45 kilometers. But actually, at this time, Duncan's boat is already quite close to the island, the same island they were supposed to come near, so Martin tells everyone not to go and says they will complete their work first, then go to help. But friends, here we see that Duncan is a good man. He doesn't listen to Martin. He turns the boat directly towards Reuben. In the next moment, they reach Reuben. Reuben, his 2 daughters, and Xavier are all rescued and brought onto the boat. After this, Reuben tells them everything that happened. Then, Martin, Duncan, Zora, and the rest find out that the ones who attacked the 4 were none other than the Mosasauruses, the same aquatic dinosaurs they were looking for. However, friends, in the next moment, we see that several Mosasauruses start ramming their boat too. But the team becomes happy seeing this and quickly steers the boat closer to the Mosasauruses. Now the actual plan to extract dinosaur blood was created by Dr. Henry. Dr. Henry has a special gun and containers that function like needles. As soon as these small needle-like containers are fired at a dinosaur's body, the needle enters it, fills with blood, and then flies into the air. A parachute deploys mid-air, allowing the container to slowly descend, where Zora, Martin, and the team will catch them.
Now, seeing the Mosasaurus in front of them, Zora quickly fires the gun. The container penetrates the Mosasaurus's body, collects blood, and Zora and her team successfully retrieve it. This makes the entire team very happy.
But friends, shortly after, we see another type of dinosaur attacking the ship, another water-dwelling dinosaur called the Spinosaurus. They suddenly begin ramming the boat. Seeing this, Zora and Duncan's friend Bobby quickly pulls out his gun and starts firing to drive the dinosaurs away. But friends, in the next moment, the dinosaurs get angry. One dinosaur jumps on the boat and grabs Bobby, eating him in front of everyone, marking Bobby's end. This terrifies everyone on board. The dinosaurs continue to attack the boat, causing chaos, and Reuben's daughter Teresa falls into the water. Seeing her fall, her boyfriend Xavier, her father Reuben, and her little sister Isabella all jump into the water to save her. All four swim to a nearby island. Duncan also navigates the boat through the Spinosauruses and reaches the island, but as they arrive, the boat crashes into the island and gets heavily damaged. Fortunately, everyone on the boat survives. But as soon as the team disembarks, we see another Spinosaurus appear and eat Duncan's mercenary friend Nina in front of everyone. Thus, Nina also meets her end after Bobby. Now the team wonders how they will get home, as their boat is too damaged to be used. But Zora tells them she has a plan. Before coming, she anticipated the boat might get damaged during the mission, so she had prepared a backup team and instructed them to bring a helicopter to the island the next day.
Hence, they must finish the mission today and reach a high point on the island by morning so that the helicopter team can spot them and rescue them. They will be monitored for only a few minutes, so if they aren't visible, the helicopter will leave assuming they died on the island. Duncan tells Dr. Henry that this island is very dangerous and everyone knows it, so the rescue helicopter won't land but will only pick them up from above if they are seen. Otherwise, they'll assume everyone perished. Now we learn that both Zora's entire team and Reuben's family are on the same island but in different locations. Reuben's family is trying to find help to escape, while Zora's team plans to extract blood from the remaining 2 dinosaurs and leave by helicopter in the morning. While exploring the island, they encounter many strange things, various dinosaurs, dangerous animals and insects. Eventually, Zora and her team discover a second dinosaur, the land-dwelling Titanosaurus, in an open field full of them. The team stealthily collects blood from their bodies. Now they have blood from 2 dinosaur types. Only the third remains. The third dinosaur is an airborne species called Quetzalcoatlus. These dinosaurs are extremely violent and dangerous. So Zora and Dr. Henry decide not to extract blood directly. Instead, they'll take blood from one of its eggs. They go to a large rocky cliff where the dinosaur's nest is located. Inside the nest are several eggs. Zora, Dr. Henry and the boatman Leckler go to the nest. Dr. Henry takes an egg and extracts blood using the container. Now they have blood from all 3 dinosaur types. But before they can leave, the flying Quetzalcoatlus arrives, sees them near their eggs and assumes they are there to harm them. It attacks the 3. It eats Leckler, but Zora, Duncan, Martin and Dr. Henry manage to escape with the dinosaur blood and continue through the island. As night falls, Zora's team and Reuben's family arrive at an old lab facility once operated by the InGen company. They came here because it seems safe. However, several dinosaurs attack them, mutated ones created years ago in that very lab. Despite the attacks, everyone survives. But then Martin shows his true colors. Realizing he now has all 3 blood samples, he draws a gun and threatens everyone, saying he'll kill anyone who interferes. But suddenly, another massive and ferocious dinosaur appears, a mutated T-Rex. This same T-Rex had destroyed the lab years ago. It attacks and eats Martin. The blood sample container falls and Zora picks it up. A rescue helicopter arrives, but the T-Rex grabs and destroys it, killing the pilots. They then see a ship nearby, an InGen company ship. They decide to escape using it. As they board and prepare to leave, the T-Rex sees them and starts moving towards them. Duncan notices that the T-Rex is attracted to bright lights, so he lights a flare and runs far from the ship to distract the T-Rex and give everyone else a chance to escape. Zora tries to stop him, but Duncan insists he must do it to save everyone. The group leaves on the boat while Duncan leads the T-Rex away, swimming into the water. When the flare goes out, Zora fears Duncan has been killed. the T-Rex leaves toward the island. But moments later, another flare ignites, where Duncan was, confirming he's alive. Zora quickly steers the boat towards him and sees he's safe. He successfully tricked the T-Rex. They pull him onto the boat and leave with all 3 dinosaur blood samples. On the way, Dr. Henry tells Zora that Martin intended to give all the blood to one company, which would monopolize the medicine and sell it at high prices, keeping it from the masses. So Dr. Henry and Zora decide to distribute the samples among many companies so they can all make medicine and ensure everyone gets access. And with this, the entire movie ends. This was the story of Jurassic World Rebirth. Let me know in the comments how you like the story and video. If you have more recommendations, drop them below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do it now. I'll see you in another awesome video. Until then, goodbye.